Fisichella. He's going to nail him somewhere. I don't know when exactly. It must be within the next 2 or 3 laps. Then otherwise Irvine is now some 8 seconds off the lead.
He's dropping back all the time. You see, he's lost 2 seconds since I talked about it last. Fisichella, obviously, is not going to yield track positions. Eddie Irvine has got to fight his way past, and my goodness, he's trying. Behind him in 7th place is Panis. Villeneuve is in 8th position. Salo in the 2nd Ferrari has improved 3 places.
And watch Irvine close in the slipstream. It's just ever so gently, but he's still not going to be near enough. He's not quick enough through the one critical corner on the track. And Fisichella, they're taking a bad line through the chicane, having a slow exit. There's not a long enough straight there for Irvine to do anything about it.
Lap 11 in Germany, and here's Mika Häkkinen having a look at Frentzen with David Coulthard behind him in 3rd position, and the magnificent Ralf Schumacher still hanging on as we look at Jean Alesi in the Sauber.
So that'd be Zanardi at the back, Murray. He was last. Remember, he went across the grass before the safety car came out, and Zanardi may have stalled the engine. It moves forward slightly. In which case, it could well be the safety car there. That's a difficult place to get a car out of the way from, although everybody else is around the other side of the circuit at the moment. But looks like Zanardi tripped over the back markers as he tried to make his way back up to his rightful position.
So, Mugen Honda-powered Jordan leads the Mercedes-Benz powered 2 McLarens with the Supertech, basically Renault-engined Williams. Ralf Schumacher still in there in 4th position. 2 Germans, 1st and 4th.
Yeah, I can see Marshall's out of the window here. I can see Marshall's on the racetrack in the last corner, Murray. So there we can see it now.
Yeah.
Look, what are they going to do with that? They can wave double yellows, but look, it's stuck in gear, and we're going to see the engine now. He's trying to take a pair of them at the time. Look, and
Zonta.
He actually managed to hit both of them.
Yeah, that was Zonta that he was involved with, and Takagi, who so very often gets involved with racing accidents in the Arrows, and somehow or other they've got the car clear. Well done.
Well, they've done it under waved yellows, so let's hope they get away with that one. Oh, now there's a truck on the track. Marvellous.
Now, what's this done to Eddie Irvine? The gap has come down a bit. He's 8.5 seconds behind the race leader. Here he is right behind Fisichella in the blue Benetton, who is in 5th position. So, Ferrari, 6th place. Benetton, 5th position. Panis in the blue. Prost is there. Then it's Villeneuve. Then it is Salo. As in walks Zanardi. And this is the 9th non-finish for the Italian driver, and this is the 14th race since he came back to Formula 1 at the beginning of this year. And Fisichella still staves off Eddie Irvine.
Came down in the lift this morning with Zanardi and said good morning. He said not really, is it? And he's proven to be right for his race anyway.
Yeah, I know. He's had a terrible season. Look at that cloud. Just look at that cloud. We could still get rain absolutely transforming this race, and if it does, this man that we're riding with now, Ralf Schumacher, I predict is going to be in a very strong position because he was absolutely mustard in the wet earlier on Friday.
Hanging on brilliantly, isn't it? I mean, they've got absolutely nothing on him at all.
He is a young superstar, is Ralf Schumacher. This is his 47th Grand Prix. And as I've said before several times this season, he's doing his brother proud. Michael Schumacher, incidentally, is not making the rapid progress he hoped for with his leg.
Irvine's got to run at Fisichella, and Fisichella's got to go down the right-hand side. Can Irvine make it around the outside? No. Fisichella defending his line well. Now he's on racing line on the exit, so obviously had some kind of problem in the last corner. I think it's only a matter of time before Irvine can pass him.
Yeah, but now Eddie Irvine is 8.5 seconds again behind. Look at the way that Olivier Panis is holding on. You're looking at the 5th, 6th and 7th men now as Eddie Irvine once again swarms up to the gearbox of the Benetton.
Now this is interesting. Irvine was the fastest man on the track last lap around, despite having to try to pass that Benetton. So clearly the harder tyres he's on is not holding him up at all, and I think he could get some benefits from that later on.
Yes, just let's recap on this tyre situation. The Ferraris are on the harder compound, as are the Stewarts. Incidentally, Barrichello is in 10th position. Johnny Herbert is in 12th place. While you watch this scrap, very quickly here are the top 10. Heitz, Frentzen, Häkkinen, Coulthard is 3rd. Schumacher is 4th. Fisichella is 5th. Irvine there is in 6th position, ahead of Olivier Panis, Jacques Villeneuve, Mika Salo and Rubens Barrichello. And James Allen's got news for us from the pits.
Yeah, Murray, don't forget the key to these hard tyres, or rather the soft tyres, is that they go off the second to about the 10th lap. So it's really important for Fisichella to keep Irvine behind him. And Irvine knows that Fisichella's tyres are going to start coming back again. These super soft tyres, they come back to life. The performance comes back. But Irvine has got to get past Fisichella now. If he doesn't, he knows he's stuffed.
Yeah, the problem he's got, James, is the one corner where he needs to be faster than Fisichella. He's actually slower. That right-hander before they head downhill into the braking zone of Vidal, he just can't get close enough there to make it stick, because his car's clearly faster.
Well, Fisichella is clearly holding things up in the Supertech-powered Benetton. In the Supertech-powered Williams, Ralf Schumacher, who's fourth, is nearly 8 seconds ahead of this battle that you're looking at now. The gap between the first and fourth is still only 1.6 seconds. Jean Alesi down in the field in 14th position. He's starting to make a challenge on Ricardo Zonta ahead of him. And in the 11th to 15th places as we ride with Schumacher now, and coming up behind David Coulthard's McLaren. I still can't get over this, the way Schumacher in the Williams Supertech is hanging on to these three superstars with their super powerful engines.
I think the McLaren boys have sort of fallen into the pace of Frentzen somewhere. I can't help but thinking Häkkinen could and should be faster. Maybe the dirty air is destabilising his car. When you've got such big wings that they run here, it makes quite a hole. It works the air very hard as the car goes through. And they've tended to all, I mean, the last lap, for example, it was 23.8, 23.8, 23.8, 23.7 for the first 4 runners in lap time. There's nothing between them. And I think they're all pacing themselves on Frentzen in the lead.
Well, in World Championship terms, and we're on lap 16 out of 66 at the present moment, there's still another 50 to go. Mika Häkkinen is on 6 World Championship points. Eddie Irvine in the Ferrari there is on 1 World Championship point. The more Irvine can move up through the field, provided Häkkinen does not get into the lead, the better it's going to be for the Ferrari driver. His teammate Mika Salo is in 9th position, and that down there is the Prost as Fisichella, Irvine, Tanis go round turn 8 and start to drop downhill, and the speed builds up enormously here to nearly 180 miles an hour. 4 times world champion Alain Prost watching his team's efforts.
Curious race, a lot of inconsistency. Häkkinen closer than he's ever been coming out of the last corner, but fastest man on the track by a country mile last time around was Jean Alesi in 14th place. I don't really know what's going on.
Häkkinen ducking and diving. He clearly thinks, obviously, that if he can get past Heinz-Harald Frentzen, he can get away. But Heinz-Harald is controlling the race absolutely superbly. This is lap 17, and he leads by the distance that you can see visually on the track. Between Frentzen in the Jordan and the 4th car that you can see, Schumacher's Williams, 1.5 seconds. Anything could happen in this race. There's a long, long way still to go. Look at the gap between Schumacher as the battle for 5th and 6th. Fisichella and Irvine goes into the hairpin, and Schumacher comes up behind the others into the chicane. We're with Schumacher now. Coulthard in front, Häkkinen in front of him. Frentzen leads. Look at the clouds overhead, and Eddie Irvine having another look at Fisichella and falling.
And Fisichella running wide. Irvine surely must get him this time.
Yes.
Oh, lucky they didn't touch. So Fisichella clearly having to go so deep on the brakes to keep Irvine at bay, and finally Irvine applies enough pressure to pass the young Italian.
Now he's going to be like a cork out of a bottle. Burst free. Go for it, Eddie Irvine. Pull away from Fisichella and close the gap between yourself and Ralf Schumacher, which is 7 seconds. The gap now between Irvine 5th on 2 points and Schumacher 4th on 3 points, 7.2 seconds. No change at the front. Frentzen, Häkkinen, Coulthard, Schumacher, look for Eddie Irvine. Look at the gap between Irvine and Fisichella.
Yes, now that'll very much catch McLaren's attention, and I suspect they need to start communicating with their men, because Irvine is going to just scream up to the back of this foursome you're looking at now.
Yeah, the hypothesis then, Martin, is that Frentzen could go quicker if he wanted to.
I think the two McLarens could go quicker if they wanted to.
Umbrellas up. Here